Hello there, welcome back to another YouTube video with Guinea Titan. We're on the big race, capture the base, standard battle in World of Warships Legends, and I'm in the Iwakai, which was previously my favourite premium warship in the game. I've had a lot of very effective games in the Iwakai because it's nimble, it's fast. The guns are pretty hard hitting even with a fairly slow reload, and the turret rotation wasn't great for a cruiser. Although, now that I've played the Pensacola stock, I don't know if the turret rotation improves. Should we say if the turret rotation improves with upgrades, but definitely the turret rotation in the Pensacola is driving me bananas. This actually was an interesting game tactically because there's obviously ships in there, but the enemy actually had an opportunity to completely dominate this corner of the fight and failed to grasp it for no particular reason that I can fathom. Now I'm spotted, and as soon as I'm spotted I decide, right, well, let's crack the smoke, because I'm in a central position and I'm actually surrounded, and that's a very bad place to be. So there's a Yubari and a Karlsruhe on the other side over there, and there's a third ship with them as well. I can't remember what it is, but it hasn't appeared yet. And the thing is, there's only two of us out here. There's a destroyer, well, there was a destroyer with us, but the destroyer's gone elsewhere. So there's myself and a Freant. And the Karlsruhe initially looks like she's coming around the corner. Yeah, there's the third ship further back. And I mean, the Karlsruhe has me outgunned. I mean, you can just look at the rate of fire and the number of shots coming in. And the Yubari would be something equivalent. But the Karlsruhe immediately turns around and goes into cover. And as soon as she does so, here comes the Yubari, steaming out determinedly right into the midst of two of us. And the third ship as well could have come through the central passage and joined in. Decides to go around the back of the island, doesn't really appear in the fight at all. Now I get stuck here in the map border, which I should have been more aware of. And it's just the Yubari now and the Freant. So, and the Yubari is pretty hard hitting. The Freant may have taken some shots from the third cruiser as well, because she's forced obviously to maintain a broadside there against that ship to avoid the torpedoes, which don't quite have the range to get as far as my position. That said, the Yubari is also put at a disadvantage because there's a lot of torpedoes in the water, and I managed to get a citadel. And then the Yubari returns the favour. I would say that was probably a citadel hit as well. That was half my hit points. However, the Yubari is forced to give one or other of us broadside practically all the time because she's dodging and weaving to avoid a lot of torpedoes. And it just needs a couple of good hits. Don't have torpedoes ready yet. And this is a very awkward ship as well to launch torpedoes from, and the Yubari is on fire. And we have a citadel. Okay, one more like that should do the trick, and we get it, and therefore the Yubari is out of action. So now, instead of the enemy having us in a crossfire dominating this corner of the map, because they chose to go the other way around the island, they're the ones that are going to be in the crossfire. Now I'm too far behind the island. I've moved away to really get a crossfire going, but the Freant's actually in a pretty good position there, probably unspotted, and was able to shoot down through the gap between the islands and engage in some of those other cruisers, or destroyers rather, exposed. And we've just lost another cruiser that went a bit too far south as well. So I'm coming around the back of this island. Now I'm going to try and limit my exposure at the back of the island. I don't want to show too much of the ship to too many ships, but I want to keep myself engaged as well. So So initially we're going to shoot at this Caledon. And then I'm going to turn around again in order to keep as much island between as many ships as possible, so that I'm only really exposed to the ship that I'm engaging against. Just speculative torpedo drop there. Now I make a mistake here. I didn't stop and go into reverse in time, and I've gone too far into the island, and I don't want to sail back around the island because I think that would take me out of the fight for too long, and it would give the enemy an opportunity to what's it called, to maybe claw their way back a bit, because if I was out of the fight, that's another set of guns. Even if I'm not hitting ships, I'm forcing them to consider what angle they're going to be approaching and what directions they sail in order not to give me broadsides. Although that, well, especially St. Louis is currently unaware of my existence, and the first salvo was bad because I actually misjudged I thought I was looking at the stern of the St. Louis initially, but the St. Louis was reversing out. And again, now I need to actually reverse out further because we've lost sight of everything. The people who were doing the spotting for us have all died, so the enemy have been focusing them down pretty well. There's the Wyoming going the wrong direction. I think if that Wyoming had stayed, it was mostly cruiser fire. It could have tanked a lot of that fire very effectively, and if it had stayed in the engagement, this might have been a different engagement. Now I know the St. Louis is there. Somewhere around those shots are falling, but none of those shots are hitting her. So, where is she? There she is. She's continuing to steam in this direction. There's broadside or bow on target. And it's saying Louis is a tough boat. But we are managing to pink away a bit of damage. I've put on smoke because I want to stay in the open, so that I want to be able to continue to shoot on the St. Louis while she's steaming in this direction, and maybe we might get some torpedoes off. But again, I need to angle the ship so that I can get the torpedoes off. Now I hope the other cruiser doesn't intercept my torpedo run. And then we start resuming with the broadsides, because the St. Louis now presented me with a flat broadside. Over penetrations in the stern, I need to give it a bit more lead. Somebody's just done a ton of damage to St. Louis. Way more than my few little shots. And the St. Louis is out of the fight. And there's the Wyoming steaming back in. And around about this time I noticed the cruiser coming in behind me on the minimap, which is rather fortunate because I could have easily missed that one, and that could have been very, very bad. So we get our torpedoes off, and I'm outgunned by a Freehand really, but we're going to use the guns. The Freehand has torpedoes in the water, but they're not going to hit me because I'm already curving and changing direction and speed. And I've managed to get the full torpedo strike on the Freehand. Gave me a devastating strike and has eliminated the last enemy cruisers. There's just the battleship remaining. And that battleship now has a gargantuan task. Which is why I said it sailed away from the fight early on. And I might have been better off if it had remained in the fight at that point in time. Now it's giving everybody a broadside except me. And I suppose, in all things considered, it would be better off actually sailing towards the enemy. Maybe slowly towards the enemy, but towards the enemy. Or at least not giving us such a flat angle. I'm basically trying to set a fire and get close enough so that I'm pretty much guaranteed a torpedo hit. Or two. Yes, we managed to get a fire going. And now it's time for the torpedo hit. So let's launch some torpedoes. We won't launch the second spread, we will wait until we get around the other side of the ship, or at least the guns are still pointing away from me so I can afford. I should have angled the ship there and actually fired the torpedoes at that point in time. But I was initially trying to see if I could avoid hitting beaching the ship, but kind of gave up on it after a while. We got a second fire set. The Wyoming is burning down and it's taking chunks from broadsides and everything, so I will actually get in a position to launch the torpedoes, but not actually get to launch them before the Wyoming finally burns to the ground. So another day, another dollar. We've now we got ourselves a High Caliber at the end of that in a devastating strike. Managed to kill 3 ships. So I think it was us that bagged the Wyoming at the end with the fire. And we came number 1 by experience. And we got 154,000 with premium. That was a kind of a one-off premium, I think, just from one of the missions or something like that, or crate. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.